Today everybody, we're going to talk about how to assemble and disassemble a Godox Softbox. Hey everybody, it's Brandon from Brandon Stinson Photography, and today I wanted to go over how to set up a Godox Softbox. So recently I purchased this softbox. It's a 37-inch softbox from Godox, and I was surprised to see that there was not very many instructions talking about how to assemble it and disassemble it. So I started putting it together and I was like, oh, this is a little bit difficult. The real hard part was taking it apart, especially for the first time me actually using a softbox, because I'm getting into high-speed sync photography. I'll post a picture here on the screen so that you can see exactly what type of photography I use with this softbox here. Just so you know, I'm using a Nikon D810, the newest version of the Nikon D850. Great camera, I love it for the shoots that I'm doing. This has high-speed sync, and that's what I'm using with this Godox box. I also have this trigger from Godox as well, which is amazing. I love it. And then for the light inside the softbox, I was using this Godox AD200 Pro. Amazing light, great power. You can get something like a 600 or where you have a lot more power, but this does great for just getting some lighting. So you can overpower, like let's say if it's the sunset, you can get proper exposures, which like I said, that's from the picture I just posted on the screen. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. I'm gonna tilt this screen down. I'm gonna take this Godox softbox apart, and then I'm gonna get right into showing you how to assemble and disassemble the Godox softbox. Okay, so let's get started. So you have all your different rods here, and you wanna make sure that you put the bracket in the middle. You wanna make sure you put your silver thing that comes with it, put it into the middle. It's gonna have numbers on it. It's gonna have 1 and 1, 1 and 1. That's the ones you're gonna start with. So you're gonna start with the ones. The entire time you're gonna feel like you're breaking this. That's why I'm making this video, because it seems like you're breaking in, it seems awkward, but it's okay. Just follow the steps and you'll be fine. So, one thing that you will like to have is a pen. These pockets you stick, I'll show you up close. So you're sticking the rods into these pockets here, and sometimes, especially when you first get it, it's not very loose. So to get like a little pin and to just kind of loosen it up, that would help you, just because a lot of times it was pretty hard to get it in at first. It gets loosened up over time though. So if you're looking to build your Godox softbox, let's do this together. If you're like me when you first bought it, it definitely was not the best experience putting it together, but it's easy after time goes on. So I'm gonna take my rod and you're gonna put it into one. And then you're going to push it in to the pocket like we talked about, and then that part's already done. Like I said, if it is not loose, use the pen, and then that's gonna allow it to get loosened up, and then that will help you get it into the black hole or the black pocket. So then start with the pocket this time, put it in the pocket, extend it. You see it's gonna start getting kind of awkward. So extend it, kind of bend it, and then put it into one. And this is how it's gonna look. It's gonna look awkward, like this. That's okay. So, take your next rod, and we're gonna do that again. So you're gonna go to one, and I'm actually gonna put it in the pocket first. You're gonna extend it, put it in the one. You see how this is looking awkward? It's looking like it's broken. It's okay. It's gonna all end up working out in the end. So, go to the next step. We're gonna put it in the pocket, and then we're going to put it in the one again. And see, it's starting to come together now. You can see it's starting to have its shape. All the rods line up with these indentures here. You see there's like indents, so it's lining up. So that's working out great. If it's not lining up, they have 1 and 3. You can just use the 3 if it's not lining up with yours, but it should line up with the ones on the 37-inch softbox, which I like to use in just for like portraits, just because you get a nice soft light. So then we're going to take it again, put it in the black pocket. Like I said, I really am trying to make this known. If you just bought this softbox, these pockets are hard to get into. You're gonna have to get something, you're gonna have to poke it up and get it in there, because these metal rods won't just slide in. But you bend it, you push it out, and you stick it in the tube. Then you take the rod, put it in the pocket again, pull it out, stick it in the tube. So you're just basically going 1, 2, and then that's when you're done. You just do the ones and you do twos, and then you're good to go. So if you're using this for portrait photography or for wedding photography, you probably want to practice with this before you go out, just to make sure that you're good and you can be quick with taking it up and down. I'm doing a little bit of talking, so I'm going a little slower today, but after I've been practicing, I can do it pretty quickly now. But when I first bought it, I was like, man, I might have to return this thing because this thing takes forever. But it doesn't after you learn. So you got it all. It's all spread out perfectly. They have 2 levels of diffusing, like white diffusers. You can put that in here, and then you can put one on the outer edge. I've just been using the one on the outer edge right now, which I'll show you in a second. But after you're done, you flip it over. You're gonna have this little cover to make sure light doesn't escape from the back. So then you're gonna put that on all the way around. I'm not gonna make it perfect just because this is just a video about assembly. And then there you go. So then you have your softbox here. And then, I'm not gonna put it on, but then you would lay your white diffuser on the outside like that. And it just sticks on the outside. So that's how you put it together. One thing to keep in mind, what you're gonna need with this softbox, you're gonna need this black S-mount or S-bracket, I forget which one it's called. I'll have all this linked below so that you can see what all these different things are. But you're gonna need this, and this is what's gonna hold the light on it. So that's something else you would need. And then this is the light that I was using, which goes into this mount. So you'll see it slides in like that, and that's what holds the light. It's an S mount, S bracket, I don't know, one or the other. So now this is the bigger part that I wanted to show, because there's not very many things out there that explain this. So after you put it together for the first time, these rods are extremely stiff, right? And they're still stiff now after I've been using it. So it's hard to just take it out. Like, look, I'm pulling it, it's not coming out. So you start thinking like, wow, how do I take this thing down? Well, you can, you just have to do it the right way. So to take it down, what you have to do is put your hand on the opposite side of the rod. So you're gonna hold down on the opposite side of the rod on this silver bracket, and you're gonna then push down like this on the outside of the rod. So then you pull down the outside of the rod, like on the middle of the rod, you push, and then you pull, like that. So you hold down the outside of the rod, you push down on the middle of the rod, kind of bending it, so you kind of feel like you're gonna break it, but you're not, because you're just applying pressure to the middle of the rod, and then you pull. And then that helps you get it out. And then you take it off from the ends, and like I said, see here, it gets kind of stuck on those out black parts. But then again, you do the same thing. If you're at one, put your hand on the outside of the rod, like on the outside, on the opposite side of this, on the bracket, and then you're gonna push down on the middle of the rod, so push it down, which then allows you to get to release the tension to pull out the rod. And then that's how you do it. So then, as you can see, it can end up going really quickly then. So down the rod, pull it out. And then you do the same thing. Push down the rod, pull it out. And just to show you again, on the opposite side of the rod, you put your hand on the silver bracket, you push down the rod, and then you pull it out from the middle of the rod. And then that's how you do it. And then it's just easy going from there. So if you just got your softbox and you're thinking, how in the heck do I take this thing apart and put it together? That's how you do it. You start with 1 and 2, putting it together, It's gonna feel awkward, and then when you're taking it apart, you just put your hand on the opposite side, hold down the silver bracket, push down on the middle of the rod, make it, because you're basically just making the rod straight, and then that gives you the leverage to pull it out. It basically makes it easier. It releases tension, and then you can pull out the rod. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, I'm gonna be doing so much more with photography and Photoshop. So like, subscribe, and leave your comments. Thanks.